Pick a number from 1 to 24. 10. Recently bought, I was really hoping I would get this because I literally just bought a book yesterday and now I'm so excited. Hi, I'm Alex and this is Pucks and Paperbacks. If you're new here on my channel, every December for the last 2 years, I have been having an advent calendar decide what I read for a week. So that's what we're doing this week. I put all of your prompts from last year and some that I received this year into this advent calendar. I use a number generator to decide which door I open, and the catch is I have to finish a book before I open another door. So this week I'm aiming to read 3 books. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe because I do a lot of fun videos like this, and I will leave the last 2 years videos down below. This is one of my favorite video series to do, and I was a little nervous at first because I didn't know what I was going to get, but now I'm super excited to show you the book that I recently bought. I also switched over to my second pair of glasses that I own because my vision has been really weird this morning, but so far we're doing pretty good. Last night I went over to Ollie's to get some things, but I love looking at their book selection because they always have really good books for a really cheap price. So I picked up the 30 Names of Night by Zane Jukada, and I am so glad that I did. This originally is priced at $27.99 in the US, but at Ollie's I got it for $4.99. Ollie's is kind of like a Costco or like a Walmart in a sense. This is about a Syrian-American trans boy in search of his new name. I just watched a little clip of the author talk about the book, and I have seen a lot of my trans friends here on BookTube rave about this, and so I'm super excited to get into it. Thank you to the Advent Calendar for blessing me today. I cannot wait to get into this book. It's 1 o'clock on Wednesday, so I'm going to get some work done and then dive into this book. It's Tuesday and it's week 3 of Vlogmas. This is my last vlog for Vlogmas, but I will be doing vlogs throughout the month because I'm trying to transition myself into doing weekly reading vlogs in the new year, so I want to just keep this a habit. But this week, I want to get all of my Christmas stuff done because I haven't done much besides bake cookies. So this Saturday, I'm going to be watching a Christmas movie with my patrons. We haven't gotten a winner yet. I give them 4 choices based on what we have just discovered and what we would like to watch. Whatever wins the poll is the movie that we'll watch. And so we have some queer movies and I'm really excited, so I'll let you know what wins. If you want to be a part of my watch parties, the link is always down below if you want to pledge $1 to support my content. And I also do personalized book recommendations over there, so if you're looking for a specific one, I have a tier specifically for that. On my Patreon, I host monthly watch parties in Discord, and I also have a bi-monthly queer book club. So if you're interested, the link is always down below. But I also just have some other Christmas related things that I want to do in this video, so you will see that. But let's talk about my morning because, oh my god, I've had the worst anxiety ever because I have been trying to get Joshua Bassett tickets. I discovered Joshua Bassett this year, and so I really want to go and see him live because I really love his music, and I did secure the tickets, but oh my god, it was so stressful. Ticketmaster is just the worst. I just hate Ticketmaster so much. This was such an anxiety-inducing experience, and I am just so glad that I was able to get tickets through other means because just waiting in the queue is so stressful. I'm so glad that I'm finally going to be able to go and see him because I tried to in September, but like the tickets were outrageous and that was just because of scalping and stuff, and I just feel like we need a better ticketing system. Like, this is getting ridiculous. Nobody should ever be able to sell tickets to a show that was $30 for $600. I just hate Ticketmaster so much. This was such an anxiety-inducing experience, and I am just so glad that I was able to get tickets through other means because just waiting in the queue is so stressful. So I'm so glad that I'm finally going to be able to go and see him because I tried to in September, but like the tickets were outrageous and that was just because of scalping and stuff, and I just feel like we need a better ticketing system. Like, this is getting ridiculous because nobody should ever be able to sell tickets to a show that was $30 for $600. His first tour he had to cancel, so this is like a makeup tour because there was a scheduling conflict, and so now I finally get to go. Like, that was a general admission ticket for a really small space. It's just ridiculous. So I just hope that Ticketmaster and all of these platforms can get their shit together, because like it just makes me not want to go to concerts, and I love concerts. I love them so much. And this is just the kind of shit that makes me be like, oh well, I don't want to go. And I'm very much that kind of person where it doesn't take much to convince me to not go. And that might just be the introvert in me, or just having social anxiety and all of that shit, but that's how I'm doing. I am gonna go on my walk, and hopefully that will help my anxiety, because I just feel super anxious. I need to finish up my current read, and then I will start what the advent calendar picked for me. It's raining out, and I just picked up the mail, and my pre-order arrived, so I'm gonna unbox it here. I've been waiting for a couple weeks since like Black Friday, because I ordered this on Bookshop's Black Friday deal, and it came out this month, and so I'm super excited. I ended up getting it because just everybody was talking about it on Bookstagram and just booktube in general, and so I bought it. I am not having a good day. I have just been super frustrated today, and so this was a really good surprise. Even if the unboxing part of it is really tough. Here it is. I'm so excited. Never Getting Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez. Originally, I wasn't going to pre-order this, but I've heard nothing but good things. So when Bookshop had that deal, I usually get my pre-orders done during a sale. So I ended up picking this up, and I'm really excited. So hopefully I'll be able to read it this week. If not, I'll try and get to it sometime this month. Now I have to go back to work, but that was a fun little surprise. Let's see.
What a play by Travis Connect. We're seeing some skill on display in this game. Hughes at one end, Connect away. Boquist will drop it back to Siegenthaler. And a long reach of Hamilton.
Happy Friday. Today I am going to make this cookie house that I got from Five Below and watch a Christmas movie. We have chosen Happiest season for our Patreon movie, and that's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm actually going to watch one that didn't win, because there was a lot of queer movies that I've just never heard of, and a lot of them sound really good. So before I start work for the day, I'm going to attempt this, and I am going to watch a Christmas movie. I just feel like since COVID, Christmas has not been the same. Like, I just don't feel like it's Christmas. Since going into lockdown in 2020, I just feel like it hasn't been the same. So if you feel the same way, let me know in the comments, because I know Christmas is happening. I'm doing Vlogmas. I'm doing all of the Christmassy things, but it just doesn't feel like Christmas. So I'm gonna watch a Christmas movie. I think I'm gonna start with Under the Christmas Tree. I'm not really sure what it's about. I honestly kind of forget. So I'm going to attempt this before I get into work for the day. After today, I am officially on my Christmas vacation that I've given myself, because I am a freelancer and I have not taken any breaks this year. I've taken like day trips and things like that where I just take a day off, but like I didn't take a vacation. So I am very burned out and excited to just not do much except YouTube. Like, YouTube is a hobby for me. It's fun. I'm really enjoying the vlogs, so I'm excited to continue them into the new year. And if you are as well, feel free to hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel when you do so. I am going to attempt this, watch a Christmas movie, and I'll let you know how it goes. Today's the only day within my busy schedule for the holidays that I'm going to be able to make this house. Tomorrow I'm going to try and get over to the library. I have my watch party with my patrons. And then at 8 p.m. is the Try Guys live without a recipe. I have been a Try Guys fan for the last 5 years and I really love Without a Recipe. It's so fun. I just love watching them. And as you know, I love to bake. And so this is one of my favorite things ever. Does it make me cringe? Absolutely. Because I'm like, why are you putting in 12 eggs? Why are you putting in 12 tablespoons of baking soda? Oh my God. I love watching those kind of videos and I just love the Try Guys energy. They're great. So I'm really excited to watch this live stream. So I'm gonna get to making the house, turning on the Christmas movie, and then getting some work done. I would like to try and get this done in 30 minutes. That probably is not an attainable goal, but we'll see what happens. As you know, I love coffee and any kind of hot drink. I like tea, hot chocolate, anything hot. And so I want to show you my mug collection. I promised you this last year and I didn't get around to it, so I decided to do it this year. Starting with this mug, this is my reindeer mug that I usually use. I love it so much. I've had it for a couple years. I got it from TJ Maxx. That's where I get most of my mugs. We also have this snowman mug. I really love the colors on this one, especially the handle. I generally use this for tea or hot chocolate just because it's really full and wide, and so I'm able to fit a lot in here. One of my favorites at the moment is this reindeer mug. It's huge and I love it so much. I've been using this all month just because it's so big. I have my hot chocolate in here and it's awesome. I have this hot chocolate K-cup and it has peppermint. I really love peppermint hot chocolate. It's so good. And then we have this little mug. This is 21 ounces. It's from the Philadelphia Christmas market. I'm not sure what year it is. It doesn't say. But I know we've had this for a couple years. I really wanted to get the one this year, but we haven't been able to go down because the one is like a stocking or like a boot or something like that. And I've really wanted it, but unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna happen this year. I think that's it for now. Those are just a couple. If I find any others, I'll update you later. It's Sunday and I haven't gotten a lot of reading done. I am 28 pages into 30 Names of Night and I'm really enjoying it. Yesterday, I watched Happiest season with my patrons and I really enjoyed it, despite the fact that one of the characters is outed and I didn't like that at all. I just hate that trope. I hated it. It was not a good time, but it was really funny and we all really enjoyed it. So I'm really glad I got around to it. My weekends are solely dedicated to YouTube content. So yesterday before the movie, I filmed my recent reads and today I edited it and now I just have to put on captions and hopefully I can get it up tomorrow. So I will have it linked down below for you if you missed it. And I also got to watch the Try Guys live without a recipe. Before that, I made this dip in a cookbook I was sent. It's called Serious New Cook, and I love it so much. If you know me, I love baking, but I haven't gotten into cooking. I really like making appetizers and things like that, and this was so easy. This book is really good for new cooks, and it is targeted at college students and anybody who is young and just starting to cook like myself. I really enjoyed it and I have made a couple recipes, including these smashed potatoes, which I will be posting on Instagram soon. I really enjoy this. It's one of my favorite cookbooks at the moment. I'm not even saying that because I was sent it. Genuinely, I love this book. The dip that I'm currently making, I have made about 4 times and it is a hit every single time. This is the goes with everything dip and it really does. It is such an easy recipe and you just have to chill it for 30 minutes and then it is ready to make. I didn't have much to pair it with, but I really wanted it and I wanted something to have while I watched the live. I think the live was about 2 hours, so I really wanted something to snack on while I watched it. I really wish I would have had churros because that's what they were making, but I ended up pairing it with pretzels and chips. Usually I also toss in some cut up colored peppers. I really love it. I think that's one of the best things to pair with it. And so I'll link down below where you can get the book if you know somebody that likes to cook or you're also somebody that wants to get into cooking. I love this book so much and I have made so many things from it. If you remember on TikTok in 2020, there was a trend of making DeLonga coffee, but in this book they actually made it as a milkshake, which I really want to make, but I've had a hard time finding some decaf instant coffee, so I need to just order it because I have not been able to find any. But I really want to make this. As I start making more weekly vlogs, I'll definitely show you as I make these because there are so many recipes that I have shared. And as somebody who doesn't get in the kitchen as much, like I said, I love to bake way more than cook, but I really love this because it's really just easy to follow. I'm a visual learner and when I'm making something, I need to know what it looks like because I need to just validate myself that I'm doing a good job. And this actually shows you pictures and I love that so much. So I can actually compare that I'm actually doing a good job. The directions read like the author is next to you, coaching you through the process, which I love. One of the authors, Cami, is actually a college professor. So if you have somebody in your life that this book would apply to, or you just want to buy it for yourself, like I said, the link will be down below. And thank you to the publisher for sending me this. This year, I've gotten into reading more cookbooks and nonfiction about books, and this is definitely one of my favorite cookbooks of the year. This was the perfect snack for watching the Try Guys. It was so funny. I loved it so much. It was so unhinged, and it was definitely unfiltered, and I loved it so much. And I've actually never had a churro before. Like, I've seen them, but I've never actually had one, but now I want one. I think it's more so because one of my favorite foods and just flavors is chicken and waffles, and that is what Keith made, and I really just want to try this chicken and waffles churro now. And so I hope that that can happen one day. I also put some of my Christmas gifts together and got them under the tree. I don't have too much more to do. I think I need like a couple more things. But besides that, I'm actually pretty good on my Christmas shopping. And so now I'm just slowly trying to get back into the holiday spirit. So I want to finish up reading more of this. And I also want to try and watch another Christmas movie. So there's my little recap on what happened yesterday, and I will see you later. It's been a while since I've updated you, and I thought that this video was going to be a weekly vlog, but that just didn't happen. So you're probably going to be seeing this after Christmas, which is fine with me because I actually want to give you more quality than just rush out a video for Christmas. But I finished up the 30 Names of Night about 20 minutes ago, and it was really good. I don't think I'm the right person to review it because it is literary fiction, so I am going to leave some reviews down below for you to check out. First, let me say this was beautifully written. I had my highlighter out the entire time while I read this. It is slower because it's literary fiction, so it did take me way longer than expected, but I had such a great time reading this. At some parts, it was slow, and I kind of just wanted it to be over, but the end result made me really glad that I continued and pushed through because I was crying. It was beautiful. This is just an exploration of grief, gentrification, and art. It also has some historical fiction elements. If you liked Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe, you're really going to enjoy this because it has similar vibes. It is a dual POV. This is following a Syrian American trans man. He's 28, and this is him just grappling with the grief of his mother who passed away 5 years ago due to a hate crime. And it is just him living his life, but also being in the closet and just trying to come to terms with his transness. And oh my god, this made me cry. It was just so beautifully written. There's so many beautiful quotes that I'm gonna take away. Like, honestly, I want to write them all down so I don't forget them. It was just so beautifully written, and that's all I can think about. I really enjoyed the return that we get at the end, and I was crying. Like, this is just such a beautiful book. There's nothing more I can say. I'm gonna leave some reviews down below because I think I can't articulate what I think about it. It was just beautiful. It was really fresh to read a perspective of a adult trans man who's closeted for his own safety, but also for himself. And this is him just trying to come to terms with himself and his body. And it was so awesome. This was a win. I really enjoyed it. If you liked Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe, I would recommend this because it has similar vibes. It is a dual perspective. Basically, the main character finds a journal from Layla Z, who is a famous bird painter, and it talks all about ornithology, and that is what his mother was doing before she passed away. And it's basically him just trying to get some closure, and he wants to help finish this project. So we're getting a perspective from Nadir in present day, and then he picks up a journal by Layla Z, who was a famous painter who went missing, and so he's trying to uncover it by reading her journal that he finds. And so then we get some of her journal entries. So we're getting Nadir's perspective in present day New York, and then we also get a perspective from Layla Z as she is living in the 1930s in Syria, but then it's all about immigration and moving to New York. My only problem with the journals is you can't really tell it's a journal. You're getting more context clues from Nadir's perspective, and I just wish I would have had a date or something. Like, I'm knowing it's the 1930s, but I kind of wanted it to feel more like a journal entry just in like the formatting, and I just love to get dates whenever I'm reading a historical fiction. But overall, I really enjoyed this. It was good, and I'm glad I picked it up. So now I want to read another book for this video because I don't want to just read one. So I'm going to see if I'm able to squeeze something else in. So let's get the advent calendar. Here we are. Give me a number from 1 to 24.
21.
21. Okay, I actually had to tape some of these because this was from Five Below, and this advent calendar journey was definitely an adventure because I could not find any advent calendars while I was preparing for this video, so this one was pretty cheaply made. Usually I get them from Trader Joe's, but I did not see any. Oh, this is a long one. Oh, it's an on-the-spot recommendation from a very good friend. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this, instead of asking somebody, is I have a friend who I've been friends with since like the start of booktube, Alex Eng, and she's on Instagram, but she's also on YouTube, so I'll have her link down below. But she has been talking all about this book, so let me go grab it because my hold came in from the library. I was really hoping I could read this book for the weekend of Christmas, and she's been shouting from the rooftops about this on TikTok, on her stories, literally everywhere, and so I really want to read this book. So I guess she would be my on-the-spot recommendation. I'm sorry I'm not going to like talk to anybody, but this actually works out perfectly because I was planning to read this weekend anyway. But it is Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochran. Trust me, Alex has been talking about this book for so many weeks. I've been seeing it everywhere. This works out perfectly because I was going to read this weekend anyway. I was going to end this vlog with one book, but then I just thought I'm not going to rush myself because what I was going to do is like upload it on Christmas Eve, but I was just like, no, I'm not going to force myself because I just wasn't in the mood to edit, and I just want to give myself some grace because this week has been pretty stressful. And so I am going to read Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochran. I cannot escape this book, and I was so happy when I went to the library because I was 20th in line and I picked up my holds and the librarian was like, oh my god, you actually got a hold in today. And it was this, and I was so excited. So I'm going to start this one. Thank you to the advent calendar. Thank you to Alex. And let's get on with this book. It's Tuesday morning and I just finished up Kiss Her Once for Me, and this was the perfect rom-com. I am so glad I read this. It was so good. It has anxiety rep, it has ADHD rep, and it is just a fun, chaotic time. I loved this so much and I totally understand why it has so much hype. I just enjoyed it for what it was, that you are in the head of the main character, Ellie, and so we are seeing her anxiety from her perspective. She has panic attacks and she's just panicking about situations, and as somebody else who panics over small things, I totally could relate, but it can be triggering, so I just want to mention that and just to proceed with caution because there's so many times where I just kind of like internalized some of the things that she was going through. It also talks about fear of failure, but there's also an incorporation of a webcomic. So let me talk about what it's about. This is following Ellie, who is in her 20s and she is working at a coffee shop in Portland just trying to make ends meet. She has recently been fired from an animation job. She went to school for animation and now she just feels like she can't do anything else. And I feel like that is so real for somebody in their late 20s. When she's at her lowest point, she is given a proposition and an offer to pretend to be engaged to this guy in order to receive some money. And so this is a marriage of convenience. It's a fake dating. It has a meet cute, a second chance romance. It has like all the tropes. And so she agrees. And when she goes to the cabin, she ends up seeing a girl from her past. And last Christmas, she met this girl on a snow day, and then things happened and she never saw her again, and she thought that everything was over until she arrives at the cabin to meet her fake fiance's family. Jack, the girl from the snow day, comes in, and oh my god, this was just so fun. The characters are fun. It has found family. I really enjoyed this because it just felt so realistic. Jack is very fierce and she knows what she wants. Jack also comes from a family of wealth, but it really talks about not wanting to be associated with that and trying to just make a name for your own. And there's just so many great conversations, and in the midst of this, there's chaos. The irony that I watched Happiest season in this vlog, because this is the book equivalent, but it's a little bit happier. I just loved this so much. Like, I feel like I'm not really giving you a lot, but I thought the anxiety rep was really good, though it can be triggering for people. So, like I said, just watch out for that. But I like this because it feels so realistic, and the end result is really good and fair, and it doesn't feel out of the blue, because sometimes in romances, how I feel is like at the end, I just don't agree with the choices that are being made. But Jack is still the same person at the end. Ellie is as well, but they have changed and grown. I liked Ellie's growth in particular because I always get nervous with mental health books because I don't want the ending to be like, ta-da, they don't have mental health anymore. But this was more about Ellie growing and trying to just deal with her anxiety and learn coping mechanisms and ways that she can better herself. Towards the end, Ellie admits that she doesn't want fear to control her life anymore, and I like that that was the outcome of her growth rather than her just not have anxiety anymore. And so I really appreciated that. I think the growth was really good, and overall, I just really enjoyed this. It was really fun. I read it really quickly. I read this any second I could, and I'm really excited because I do own the Charm Offensive, and so thank you to everybody who has been recommending this and just sharing it. I'm so glad I finally read it, and now I can discuss it with all the book clubs this month. And that concludes the 2022 Advent Calendar Picks My TBR. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. It really helps on my channel when you do so. And hit subscribe if you want to hear more of my thoughts on queer and trans books. That's it for me. If you want to join my Patreon, the link is always down below, as well as my social medias, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people. I just got a comment on my last video saying somebody that actively watched my videos got unsubscribed. So the best way you can be updated on all of my videos, if that does happen to you, is to follow me on Instagram. I update my stories every single time I upload, and I also do a corresponding post with it. So if you haven't followed me there already, feel free to do so. That's it for me today. The next vlog you'll see from me is my end of the year vlog, where I try to finish up all of my reading challenges.